doesn't seem too wild. And I think I got the immediate shock of what the heck are they doing over there? So like, give me your, as we come to an end of our conversation together, let's just kind of wrap this up and give me your kind of
vegetables being served in our schools. That would probably be a good thing, or at least an improvement.
Yeah, I agree. But I will also say this. We go back to my wife at the elementary school. My kids were in elementary school. She was on the wellness committee. She made a big push to squat. No, not necessarily. Right? We've got a lot of different opportunities and variability when it comes to squat and how we squat. There are also some things that then my hip extensors have to work more to lift me up. Shouldn't be a shock, but we now have data. We've got the research in here that supports it. So this is Barak et al. And we're also looking at STRAB and implications to their activation. The glute medius and minimus do as well. And I found that particular one interesting. Glute medius and minimus, a little more activation. Glute maximus, no significant activation increase by having the feet wider and hips externally rotated. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But we now need to look at, there are other things to consider. My foot position is one, but now let's talk about squat. Are more important than the optimization of what you do working out, especially if you only do it sporadically. I'd rather have somebody coming in, being suboptimal, and doing it regularly. Those people are going to get results. Now, if I can get them closer to optimal while also being consistent, that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. So that is what we will pay attention to. Now, let's talk resting and doing that kind of stuff without being loaded externally is different than adding weight onto somebody. So I'm going to say be aware and be careful when it comes to that posterior pelvic tilt under load. We want to protect your back. You can get great outcomes when it comes to hypertrophy without going beyond what the hips can do before going into that butt wing. So let's just stay doing what we can.
Has about 2.5 to 3 hours worth of focused, energy where they can focus. And it's not uncommon for a successful trainer to do 4 to 6 in a row, which, I don't particularly love doing, but it needs to happen, then it needs to happen. You also have to have a really good sounding board, or at least propaganda and a lot of, I mean, there's not, let's face it. I mean, there are still individuals that, and there are your companies out there that, really put that out there as their leading thing. You need to be dynamic and help what worked for them and what didn't work for them. I will say that it is easier in the industry and in the business itself once you have been there long enough and you have networked.
Before I start working on the project, not necessarily when I'm working on the project. When I'm working on it, I'm in. I'm working, my mind is focused, my flow state is on, and then all of a sudden it's over. And I was like, well, it didn't really matter how long it took because I was focused on it. What did matter is that I almost didn't start.
You create that and you can create that. But again, that's working out with different people, working out with at different locations, like trying to find your quote unquote, your tribe of people. And there are many different types. There are those, we have, you and I have talked about it. There are trainers of many different